Magandang hapon ho sa lahat ng kababayan natin sa Pilipinas. So, yeah, as what mentioned earlier by STR Michelle, the trend, the market in Europe, not only in UK but the entire Europe is really moving towards environment consciousness and sustainable development. So, but before we go to that, to the market trends, maybe I will just give you a little bit of refresher about GSP, GSP Plus, and the tools that are available here in the EU for our exporters to use. And also, I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview on the current utilization of the GSP Plus and which areas or where which products can we further promote to use the GSP Plus. Okay, so yeah, okay. So of course, the GSP, as explained earlier by Asek Alan, is the generalized system of preference. So I will not explain much about it anymore, about the technicalities about it. But I just like to highlight that EU is now comprised 27 countries or 27 states. Before it was 28, but because of Brexit, we're now left with 27. But this is still a very strong market of 440 million people. And the bigger economies there are Germany, France, Spain, Italy, the Scandinavian countries, and Poland, etc. So EU as a whole comprises like 440 million consumers, and the average GDP per capita is 25,000 euros. So you can just imagine the purchasing power of this bunch of people. So it is fantastic that PHILEXPORT is organizing this event, on how we can promote this market to our Filipino exporters. Okay, so again, the GSP Plus provides us with 0% tariff for more than 6,000 products from the Philippines going into the EU. But of course, this doesn't come free. So the country has to agree that we have to comply with the 27 UN conventions. So if we're going to group together these 27 UN conventions, these are the human rights, good governance, labor rights, environment. And by the end of 2023, magiging 28 UN conventions na ho yan kasi idadagdag nila yung Paris Climate Agreement. So by the end of 2023, EU will end this current EU GSP scheme and will put up a new one because ang life po ng isang GSP scheme is like every 10 years. So by 2024 onwards, meron tayong bagong scheme. And the Philippines and other beneficiary countries will join that new GSP scheme. So more or less, pareho lang naman din yung mga benefits, pero baka they will add more products or they will liberalize more of the ROO rules, or maybe they will add more criterias and requirements for us to join, but we continue to monitor. But for the meantime, let's continue to enjoy the GSP Plus scheme. So right now, we export around 2 billion euros of goods using the GSP scheme. That's around 1/4 of the total Philippine exports to the EU for all the merchandise that we export for 2019. Top products that uses the GSP Plus: coconut oil, vacuum cleaners, processed tuna, bicycles, lenses, tires, currant pineapple, etc. And top market, of course, Germany, the Netherlands, France, and Italy. Before ho, number 3 ang UK, but again, they have their own GSP scheme na ho. Okay. So now let's proceed to the trends. It's fantastic that the speaker before me, si STR Michelle, already gave you a lot of trends about the market trends here. What the consumers want. It's basically the same and similar. Basically, the overarching principle here in EU is the Green Deal. So this is the common consciousness of people here, from consumers up to policymakers and government people. So everything revolves around Green Deal. So the regulations about the use of renewable energy, about mobility, smart mobility, and yung climate action, climate ambition that by 2030 they're already carbon neutral, and policies coming here and there about carbon tracing and And for example, there is a new regulation that we are also monitoring about the carbon audit. So they will audit the companies here in EU as to their production method, that they're making sure that the products that they produce produces the minimum possible carbon emissions, no? And they're going to extend this also to exporters, to suppliers from third countries like the Philippines and other countries where they source their product. So sooner or later, EU will also be imposing regulations to monitor and to control the emissions from all factories all over the world, whoever supplies them. So this is just really the general trend, and just to give you the sentiment, the going green mindset of the Europeans. So included there is also the farm to fork strategy. So nandyan ho yung going organic, traceability, and more regulations also, and more controls to make sure that we produce our food in a very sustainable manner. So here are some trends. Nabanggit na ito kanina ni STR Michelle, like example, going organic, again, sustainably produced, meat alternatives, and they now want more artisanal products, and together with that, products with a story. So it's really important that our exporters will set up their own websites for their products and for their companies, because now the consumers are very much they have so much time in front of their computer, or they have access to their mobile phones. They can easily check products and sources of the products, and then they can see if what is this all about, what is this product all about, where do they come from, how are they produced, and all. So importante ho na maganda yung narrative natin, and it's well documented. It will really help push appreciation for your products. And mentioned already earlier that because of COVID and the trend now, e-commerce is really, really the way to go. Everybody's doing e-commerce, from food delivery, food ordering, and ordering basically anything. Also, just to add, with regard to the smart mobility movement, I think there are a lot of opportunities for bicycles and accessories, and also other forms of eco-friendly transport and accessories for that. I mean, yung mga Pilipino magaling din sa mga kung ano-ano mga anik-anik that we can use as accessories for bicycles and other vehicles. No, just an example, here in Brussels, where I am based, yung regulation nila ngayon, yung mga roads, all roads here are now, the speed limit is now 50 or 30 kilometers per hour. So ganun kabagal. And they're doing that because they want to promote the use of public transport and the use of bicycles and scooters and all, and lessen the use of vehicles. Just to show you how we are utilizing the GSP Plus right now, we are still a little bit stuck in the old traditional products, which is not bad, but actually there's a lot of room for growth for the non-traditional products, for other products, kasi 6,000 items yung pwedeng makinabang sa GSP Plus sayang naman. So right now, our top user of GSP Plus is still coconut oil, and surprisingly, vacuum cleaner is now number 2. Then we have the canned tuna, pineapple, hairdressing apparatus, and activated carbon, and relays, electronics, and machineries. No. Ito nga, I just want to highlight this, that GSP Plus really provides a lot of benefit for you, or for your buyers, or for both of you. You can save some money, which you can use in turn for promotions. No, like for example, for tuna, the MFN is 24%, but GSP 0. Footwear, headwear, 17% yung MFN tariff, but with GSP it's 0. So sana pakinabangan natin, sayang naman. Here, it's madami, it's very cluttered. Just read this na lang in your spare time. But what I did here was identify all the products that we export to the EU using GSP, only 3 million euros and above. Yung mga malilit, hindi ko na sinali dito sa listahan. And then I reverse sorted them based on utilization rate. And here you will see na, for example, yung mga cacao, coconut oil, etc., 90%, 90+% na utilization. So meaning all our exports for these products, we are really using the GSP+. But here on the upper side, you will see here na marami tayong mga produkto na hindi gumagamit ng GSP Plus pero eligible sila if only we comply with the rules of origin. So maybe we can study this further. You can look into your inputs and maybe you can improve your compliance to the rules of origin and so that you can use the GSP benefits. I can see here like Chapter 61, Chapter 62, and Chapter 63. Easily, if you combine the three of them, right now, the utilization rate is just like 30, 40, 50%. But if you combine the potential, the GSP potential, that's around 120 million euros, no? But a big part of it is not compliant pa. But maybe we can do something about it. Now, what I want to show you next are the tools that you guys can use as exporters. So I find this really, really useful, and I think our exporters there back home can really make use of this. So the first one is called Access to Market. This is the website, trade.ec.europa.eu/access to markets, or you can just Google it, access to markets, and I'm sure lalabas ho yan. And what is this? This is a very user-friendly portal set up by the European Commission. And of course, you would know your products or the product code. You just put it there, and then saan yung source country and saan yung destination country. It will show you the tariff, the rules of origin for your products, and even the local taxes. And ano pa yung mga regulations for importing your products into the EU. So it's really, really useful. So let me show you, since I have a little bit more time, I can show you how to use the portal, no? Okay, so this is the portal, access to market. And then for example, here, I would type coconut water. Okay, so origin, for example, Philippines. Okay, and then destination, kunyari, Finland. And voila, here you go, coconut water. Nandito na yung HS code niya, and then I'll just select this product, click select. And then kita nyo na dito, lalabas na yung mga applicable tariff for the product. Like the usual tariff is 17.6%, which is really high, but using GSP Plus, 0%. So laking tipid yon, laking savings for you and for your buyers here, no. And then nandito rin yung mga links to the laws that apply to your product. And then we click for example, the taxes. Ano ba yung local tax sa Finland? So, for product with this code, this is coconut water from the Philippines to Finland, kailangan palang lagyan ng 14% value-added tax. So at least you know the end price likely ng produkto ninyo pagdating doon sa market. And nandito rin yung excise tax, yung rules. So for example, the excise tax for soft drinks ng Finland and duties on packaging of beverages. So, napaka-importanting tool and very useful po itong tool na to. Nandito rin yung rules of origin. For example, for coconut water, nandito na rin yung mga sinasabi kanina ni Asek Alan, ano yung mga regulations for that particular chapter, for that particular product, nandito na rin. No? So, really, really useful. So, please use this. So, next is another useful tool which was already extensively discussed earlier was the REX system. So actually, kailangan mo siya. It's now a requirement because you can no longer use Form A to export your products to the EU if you're using the GSP Plus. So this is the description. I will not expound anymore, but basically the REX will enable you. The hassle is just really on registering to the portal. But once you're part of the portal, and it's not really that difficult actually. Once you're part of the portal, you can your succeeding exports. Every time you have a shipment, you will just be printing your own statements of origin. So it's easier actually. So for more information on how to go about this and to guide you how to set this up, please contact Miss Jing Goaco of EMB. Nandyan ho yung email address niya. Nandyan din yung email ni Miss Gina Herman of BOC. She's the one who's really helpful to us in helping our exporters registered in the REC system. Ang pinaka-recent case namin, yung Manila Trading, if most of you know, is based in the Netherlands. They're one of the biggest importer of different grocery items from the Philippines. Last month may problema sila kasi yung upcoming shipment nila, yung exporter pala for that product hindi registered sa REX. So yung isa nahabol pa namin, but yung isa medyo hindi na. So imagine ang gastos na binayad natin sa around ng Manila Trading for not being able to use REX is like 3,000 euros. So kung nag-REX lang sana yung mga exporters, which has been really required naman talaga since the start of this year pa, then we would have avoided unnecessary expenses. So please tell your friends or make sure that you are now part of the REX system. Okay, so that's it for me. If you have more questions on how we can help you promote your products here in the EU, if you have any questions about regulations in the EU, since our office is really based here in Brussels where the EU institutions are, then we can monitor it for you or we can advise you. But for specific market concerns, like for example, we have colleagues in PTIC Paris, Stockholm, in Berlin, in Bern, and in the UK, of course, who can help you with that also. Our office can also advise you for the market in Benelux. So ito ho yung name namin. Ako po si Ben, and my colleague si Tess Borja, and this is our email address and our number. Thank you very much. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat.